Love your fantastic wonders with spiritual level of being and beautiful smiles. Today I want to discuss the origins of the devil. Now, unknown to many Christians, the devil does not exist in Judaism. He is not mentioned in the Old Testament, the Jewish Bible. Rather, the word Yetzirah, which means the inclination towards doing evil. The word Diablos is later used, which means Satan or the adversary and accuser, which Satan is a title, meaning adversary and accuser. Now, this being said, in Judaism, Satan is an angel, an angelic being that serves God. He serves Yahweh. His job is to seduce mankind away from God, so that way mankind has free will. Now, in the book of Job, he's described as an angelic being taking place within a council that God called. So let's go read it. 1-6, Job. So 1-6. When the day came for the heavenly beings to appear before the Lord, the day came. So this is a council being called. Satan was there among them. Of course he was. He's an angelic being that serves Yahweh. What have you been doing? The Lord asked him. Just a casual catch-up. Satan answered, I have been walking here and there, roaming round the earth. Did you notice my servant Job? The Lord asked. There is no one on earth as faithful and as good as he is. He worships me, and he is careful not to do anything evil. Satan replied, would Job worship you if he got nothing out of it? You have always protected him and his family and everything he owns. You bless everything he does, and you have given him enough cattle to fill the whole country. But now, suppose you take away everything he has. He will curse you to your face. All right, the bet is on, the Lord said to Satan. He didn't say the bet, he just said all right. Everything he has is in your power, but you must not hurt Job himself. So Satan left, as Satan cannot act outside of this God's command, as he is an angelic being that serves this God, which is a problem with this God. This is why the devil was invented, because it makes this God look like less of a dick. Now, let's go read 38. But this is after Job's kids have been killed. He's 7 sons and 3 daughters. The Lord, who are you to question my wisdom with your ignorant, empty words? Stand up now like a man and answer the questions I asked you. Were you there when I made the whole world? If you know so much, tell me about it. Who decided how large it would be? Who stretched the measuring line over it? There's nothing to do with these kids, so he doesn't really care. Now, the 7 sons and 3 daughters are the only people that Satan kills. This God kills millions. So there's a problem with this concept. Now, at the end of it, Job is rewarded for not renouncing God and for staying loyal to him. So he's given new children as a way of saying, sorry, your old kids are dead. Here's some new ones, which is still messed up. Now, a lot of Christians don't understand this, but the devil, who they call Satan, Lucifer, or even the serpent, they're all different characters. They're not the same being. So let's go into that as well. Okay, so in Christianity, Satan is described as a fallen angel, more of a Lucifer figure, as these two get mixed in. Now, he's viewed as one who challenges God. So he fell from heaven with an army, basically, challenging God. In Islam, he's viewed as a jinn who's attempted that takes advantage of mankind's own self-centeredness. Now, he's called Iblis or Satan in Islam. Now, he rebels against God in a sense because he refuses to prostrate before Adam. Now, there's also a theory that the book of Job was inspired by Zoroastrian influence, which in turn would also influence Christianity and Islam. Now, it's possible that Yahweh originally served this role of Satan, serving his God, the Most High, creator God Elyon, in the Canaanite mythology. Now, in the Canaanite mythology, the serpent is regarded as life-bearing, sex, fertility, and rebirth, but it can also be viewed as evil and chaotic, which is one reason this is also passed down in the Bible today. You see 2 aspects of the serpent, one being good and one being evil, but really the serpent never lied. So he was viewed as a good guy, especially in Gnosticism, Gnostic Christianity, that some viewed the serpent as Christ, or even as Sophia, or even as basically aspects of both Sophia and Christ. So we have here a bit different, as when we have the scene of Yahweh sending poisonous snakes at his people for complaining during the wandering of the desert. He orders them to construct a serpent pole, and this is the only idol that God allows them to worship, which in turn symbolically represents life, rebirth. Some even view this serpent as Christ, which in turn carried on to this tradition. So Jesus states in one of the Nag Hammadi texts, the Gnostic texts, that if this God is real, their God that they worship, then he was the serpent in the Garden of Eden telling mankind to wake up. Now, the role of Lucifer, challenging God, this was also contributed to Jesus, as many viewed him as challenging Yahweh, especially in John 8:44, where he says to the Pharisees and Sadducees that worship Yahweh, you worship your God who is the devil, your father who is the devil, and he's been a liar and murderer since the beginning. Rather, if you knew me, you would know the Father as well, which he refers to as Abba. So, a knowable God, the true God, which could be also aspects of El and Asherah. So, the masculine and feminine God. So, beyond sex, androgynous, which also got passed on into Gnosticism with Sophia, with Barbelo, the mother-father God, with the unknowable father, etc. Now, Lucifer, who means light bringer and morning star. Jesus is also referred to as the light bringer and morning star. This is also found within pagan roots. The goddess Ishtar and also the Roman goddess Venus is also mentioned as the morning star and light bringer, represented by fertility, sex, and love, and even battle. Now, because of these evil actions of this vengeful God, many Christians rejected it, as Jesus only spoke of a God of love and forgiveness, compassion, nothing of vengefulness and destruction. Now, this is why people refer to him as Yahweh, which is Yahweh in Gnosticism, the vengeful old God, the false God that created this imperfect world, or in other versions, it's just symbolic for your ego. Now, some Gnostics believe that Yahweh was the son of Yahweh, the demiurge. There were different forms of Gnostic Christianity, many forms of Christianity, many of which rejected Yahweh, especially Marcion and Marcionism, which was a type of Gnosticism, or considered at least influenced by Gnosticism. So, the very first New Testament, which was written by Marcion, he rejected the Jewish Bible, and he rejected the Jewish God as corrupted and evil. So again, this is why we have this slip up of things all being contributed into things, as they were desperate to try rewrite the Bible into what fit the roles of the Roman Church to unify their religion. Now, with the role of Jesus challenging Yahweh, this can also be found within the Gospel of Judas and other Nag Hammadi texts, and especially in the Gospel of John 8:44, where he challenges the Pharisees and Sadducees and their God. Now, in the Gospel of Judas, Jesus said to have laughed at the disciples who are praying to this God, and states that they only do this because they're being told to do so. They don't do this out of love or anything. They're only doing it so that way their God would be praised. So again, this shows that these Christians rejected this idea of a vengeful God. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace and love, many blessings. Connect to one, mind and soul. Namaste.